let's talk about something that all of us parents of autistic children can relate to: eating struggles. If mealtime feels like a constant battle in your house, you're definitely not alone. I remember when my son wouldn't even touch certain foods unless they were just right. And I mean, just right. If it wasn't the right texture, the right smell, or even the right color, it was a total no-go. So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you exactly why eating struggles happen for many autistic children, and most importantly, I'll give you actionable strategies that really work to make mealtimes a lot easier and a little less stressful. These are tips and strategies I've learned from our therapy team, along with years of research and trial and error myself as an autism mom. And be sure to stick around because later in this video, I'll let you know how to get my free guide with proven tips, real life strategies, and actionable steps that you can start using today. But before we get into the details, I just want to say this: every child is different and every child is on their own unique part of the autism spectrum. What worked for us might not work for everybody, and that's okay. Each child progresses at their own pace and in their own time, so just be patient and don't compare your journey to anyone else's, okay? Now let's get into it. So what's going on when our kids refuse to eat? The issue is often sensory sensitivities. For many children with autism, their brain processes sensory information just a little bit differently. Our senses, like touch, taste, smell, sight, and sound, are how we experience and interpret the world around us. For neurotypical kids, the brain filters and processes these sensory signals relatively easy. But for autistic children, their brains often overreact or underreact to sensory input. For example, when a child with autism eats, they may experience an overwhelming amount of sensory information. The texture of the food can feel too sticky or slimy, the taste too strong or too bland, or the smell might be so intense it's unbearable. The brain doesn't filter these experiences the same way it does for neurotypical children, and this can cause extreme discomfort or even distress sometimes. This sensory overload can lead to food refusal, meltdowns, or even gagging, and it can make eating a huge challenge for our kids. So let's dive into the strategies that worked for us, and all of these which were based on insights from our therapy team and what I've learned through just trial and error and being an autism mom. So number 1, gradual exposure to new textures. Introducing new textures slowly was really the key for us. If you've ever watched your child reject a food because it feels wrong, it's not about being picky. It's their brain processing the texture in a way that feels overwhelming to them. Instead of forcing my son to try new foods immediately, we just took a little bit of a slower approach. For example, I'd introduce a new texture like mashed potatoes alongside a food he already liked, like crunchy bread crackers or crispy chicken nuggets. This really helped him to, focus on the familiar texture while gradually becoming more comfortable with the new one. It's all about the baby steps, and consistency is key. Number 2, using visual cues. I created like a simple food chart with pictures of what my son would eat that day. And these visuals were essential because they helped him to understand what to expect, which in turn reduced anxiety around his meal times. The brain of an autistic child can become easily overwhelmed with unpredictability. So offering a visual representation of what's coming next really made the experience much less stressful. We also added fun pictures of foods when he was reluctant to try something, just so they didn't seem really scary. So we turned broccoli into a funny monster face or give it a fun name like Scully. And that small change just allowed my son to approach mealtime with more curiosity than fear. Number 3, establishing a routine. Children with autism thrive on routine and predictability, and this also extends to their meal times. For my son, knowing that we had a consistent routine around food, like eating at the same time each day and having meals presented in the same way, really brought comfort and stability. Routines help reduce anxiety and sensory overload because they make the environment a little more predictable. We also use visual schedules to communicate mealtime, so my son could anticipate what would happen and when it was going to happen. This visual schedule, it kind of acted like a calming tool, and over time, my son felt more confident about what was to come next. Number 4, making it fun. Sometimes just the simplest changes can have the biggest impact. I started cutting food into like fun shapes or allowing my son to decorate his plate. Like we used cookie cutters to make sandwiches into fun shapes, or we created food art by adding a few toppings in specific patterns. This gave my son more control over mealtime, which can be empowering for an autistic child. The sensory experience of playing with food without the pressure of having him eat it, it really allowed my son to connect with food in like a non-threatening sort of way. It also gave an opportunity to explore the textures and taste without feeling pressured. Just remember, every child is different and on different levels of the spectrum. It might take some trial and error, but just stick with it. Sensory sensitivities are real and they require patience. With these strategies, my son made huge progress, and I really believe that these tips can help your child too. Now, if you're thinking, I could really use a checklist for this, I've got you covered. I created a free PDF with 5 tips to help your autistic child overcome eating challenges. It's a simple, actionable guide with strategies you can start using today. Just click the link in the description below to get yours. So to my fellow autism parents, if you're struggling with food battles at home, just remember you are not alone. I know it's tough, but some patience and these strategies, mealtimes can and will get a lot smoother. And if you found this video helpful, please do me a favor, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos about this crazy and beautiful autism parenting journey. Thanks for watching and be sure to check out this next video.